Hello, welcome back to EU4. Right, Sunset Invasion. You remember that? I was going to try for that, and it didn't quite work out, did it? So I went off and I tried again without the episode, which is why I haven't been uploading any videos, because I've just been playing this. And I want to explain to you the story so far, because I'm about to jump in and continue the videos, but I need to explain what's happened first. So I only started taking screenshots, as you can see, in 1447. Basically, I was much better at uniting the tribes. I had alliances, and I used the vassalization trick that you can't do anymore, where you vassalize someone someone else has declared war, and then your allies join in that war. So basically, it started off really well. I started off with these two vassals, then I gained another vassal there, and then ended up in this incredible war. They had literally nothing left. No troops, nothing. And then that, oh, I've just swapped to Windows 7 Basic. I'm still recording. Yes, good. Great. Okay. Yep. There you are, as you can see. A major change in this, and that is the war. A major change in this playthrough is that Moctezuma didn't die, so I could keep him as that fantastic general and ruler for the start of the game, which was brilliant. So yeah, there goes them. Then I pieced out Tlaxcala. And those are my vassals. They were only 9 doom. Check me out. I have loans. The loans are happening again. Beware. Beware of loans. Here you can see just an example of how I crushed everyone, basically. As you can see here, I was using my vassal's infantry there. I don't know what I'm highlighting there, actually. I'm not sure what the... Oh, well, who cares? Doesn't matter. Yes, this is not a good event. Do not like that. Lose 1 base tax in your capital. Not happy about that at all. Or getting 10 unrest. Jesus. Pick one. Obviously, I picked the unrest. But yeah, as you can see, I only got war reps from these guys because I wasn't too concerned about moving that way. Straight after doing that, I could take out Mishtek and vassalize them, which means that I could pass the first reform. I took discipline, which is great, and I got a fantastic heir as well. Look at that. I called him Moctezuma because it was a fitting name, as you can see. It's just Moctezuma, but in a slightly different order. So yeah, 1457. My expansion in this one wasn't as fast, but on my first attempt, I expanded really fast, took out loads of loans, and then that meant I couldn't start colonizing for ages because I had all these loans to pay off. This time I was a bit slower, and I started colonizing earlier, but I didn't have everyone in my grasp as soon as I'd have liked. Yeah, then that happened. Regency Council, fantastic. Now, I can still declare war, of course, but it means that I don't have these fantastic monarch points. I am, as you can see, carpet sieging, rather. What am I looking at there? My military. Something military. Something. Oh yes, this is my best general. Is this? I think I'm showing what I lost. But yeah, anyway, I took some land, and some vassals. We're up to 32 doom, as you can see, which is a little bit tricky. No rivals. I'm just that powerful. I love it when that happens. And I've got 4 vassals. Just need 1 more. Unfortunately, doom is creeping up, and I just wanted to... I want it to happen, so... I just fucking have them, mate. Don't even care. You might declare more on quiche. So yeah, they were getting wrecked. As you can see, they've got those rebels down there, so I thought now is the time. I went in, I teched up as well, which is great. So I was teching up my military. I didn't tech up anything else, though, but I teched that up, despite the corruption it caused, simply to give me an advantage over everyone else. That was a big issue I had in the first try as well. I was like, I don't need to tech up, I'll get it for free later. But of course, everyone else techs up, so it was causing me trouble. So yeah, I did that, carpet sieged. Colima got Doomsday, idiots. I got war reps from Cocomez. Those are the guys up there in Ecab, Uemil, and Sotuta, I think it's called. How sad that I know these. There we are. I released Zapotec with the aim of having an easy vassalization. Of course, you get a truce with them, which I didn't consider. But I did get Quiche as a vassal as well, which is pretty neat. Which means that I could pass the next reform. I went for monthly war exhaustion because that was starting to become a bit of an issue. Can't see it there. But it was just a bit of an issue. I'd prefer not to spend money reducing that. And then, check it out. Check it out. I'm doing what the rap singers do. It's pretty bloody good. So the second Moctezuma ascends the throne, and my new heir is a 662, which is bloody cool. Fortunately, can't choose his name because I would have called him Moctezuma if I had the choice. Then I have a truce. Now, as you can see in the bottom right corner, my Doom is at 79. Doom did start to become an issue. I didn't get Doomsday, spoilers, but it meant that I did have to truce break a few times, as you can see here. So that was actually Zapotec. Oh, those are the guys I released. So yeah, I released them, and then I went, fuck the truce, I'm having you anyway. And that was quite easy because they didn't have any allies. So that's actually why I truce broke, thinking about it. I remember now. And then we're up to 80 Doom, so I'll just sacrifice him. There we are. But I guess I haven't because on the next screen I'm still on 80. But whatever. Let's Flower War Totonac now. Guys up in the north. Oh no, I'm Flower War... Who are they? Tlapanek and Totonac, their ally. These guys always ally each other, which is really odd. So it was... yeah, so I got my two allies, and at the same time... Tarascan became a vassal of Colima. My two vassals, rather, not two allies. But notice I didn't take any land because of this whole Doom issue. So I just want to pass the next reform and then I can start taking land again. More sacrifices, please. Thank you. But then we're back up to 76 again anyway, so it was all for naught. The time has come, though, to declare war on Tarascan, who are the vassal of Colima, who themselves are allied to Mishtek. Now, that'll give me 3 more vassals, which would be enough to pass the reform. In fact, I only need 2. And I love, this is just the domination of them. Look, they just had nothing left at all. And I'm only at 50% war score. But my Doom's gone all the way down to 60, look. But the upshot of that is, I get 2 new vassals. Na-na. And basically, I chose my vassal based on who had the best rulers. But at the end, it was always just, it was Tlapanek that I sacrificed. And then... See, I got all the way... Because passing a reform gives you 25 Doom, so given that I was on 61, now I'm on 73, obviously that made a huge difference. I went for the stability cost modifier because, well, it's useful, I suppose. I couldn't afford the settler yet, the colonist. I can finally get a rival. Look at that, little shield in the corner. So then, the Doom is back up to... In 4 years' time, the Doom is back up to 91. So it's time to truce break again on... Who is it? Mishtek, who is, I don't know if you can see my mouse here, but it's the little beige guys down in the bottom corner, and Colima, their ally. So I do that, and this is the no, sorry, they're hidden behind my pop-up. They're the purple guy. So this is the situation I find myself in. I vassalize Colima, vassalize Mishtek, and then I'm still at war with the other guys. I go in a new war, rather, against those ones. Tlapanek, I think it is, isn't it? And then Totonac joins. And then I get my 2 vassals. There is 1 more war to do. Zhu's not going to join in, so this is the perfect time. Here we go. And let's see. This guy's name! That's what I was highlighting there. It's amazing. So yeah, it was a pretty easy battle as well. As you can see, my troops are just way better than anything else. You can't actually see because the pop-up's in the way. But yeah, as you can see, that's the sort of battles we're fighting now. It's just a walkover. They become a vassal. No more land though, because it's a bit of an issue. I can now pass the reform to get the colonist, because I have the money, or rather I've decided that now is the time. I'd rather have that than the extra diplomatic relations. So here we go. 1 reform to go. Doom is at 63, although ticking up very slowly now. And there's just a big war against Zhu and Quiche that I have to deal with. And as you can see, it went quite well. These guys were not a trouble at all. I had a far easier time uniting the kingdoms, the duchies, or whatever they are, than I did in the first one. Because the first one, I went at it too fast, Matron. This one, I took it easy, took it slow. I had to truce break about 5 times, but I had a much easier time for it all. Because of it all. After you've done something once, it's much easier to do it again, because then you know what to do. You know what to look out for, kind of thing. Oh, I should point out, I forgot to mention, this is on 1.18, because I was finishing this before I upgraded to 1.19 and got Rights of Man. So there's no institutions or anything. I didn't vassalize Zhu, but I got war reps from them and humiliated them, which is pretty awesome. And then Quiche can give me Miche, and become my vassal, which is awesome. So now I can start to expand. And I've gone all the way down to 23 doom from that war. Look at that. 63, 23. So yeah, there's my first vassal. Then I can declare war on Tlapanek, who once again have allied Totonac, which would be very easy. And in fact, yes, very, very easy. So easy that my doom has gone all the way down to 1. And yes, here we are. So I vassalized Tlapanek and vassalized the other guy. I vassalized everyone, took all their land, and that takes me into a war against Colima, which is easy. Whilst I'm doing that, this war is so easy, I do another war at the same time. I'm like, I'm going to declare war on fucking, whatever they're called, Tarascan. There we go. So I vassalized Colima, take some more land. You can see I've started to colonize there as well in timelapse. That was the reason for declaring war on if we go back. Yeah, see, I couldn't before because land was in the way. So rather than going around them, I just thought, I'll just take the land off of them and colonize that way. And I full annexed Mishtek because I can afford to now because I only need 5 people. I only need 5 alive. And then there goes Tarascan. Oh, it was Mishtek I declared war on before. Oh, I'm so confused. Anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, this is very easy. And then, hello, Castile has arrived. So the Westerners know that I exist, even though I don't know who they are yet. They're just some strange white men. There they go. Again, just take another screenshot, why not? Very odd army composition as well, a 1-2-2. And there we are. So I took 2 provinces from them and vassalized them, obviously. Sacrificed some people. Why did I take a screenshot of that? I have no idea. Who cares? But the upshot is, just to get rid of that 1 doom, I sacrificed someone. And then, ta-da! The final reform is passed. Doom does not change. That is stuck at 25. And now I can finally afford a Master of Mint, which is awesome because it means my inflation is not going to be that big of an issue anymore. In fact, it is now going down. C'est fantastique. Peace bought by Conquistador. But I wasn't at war, and the pop-up did nothing. Castile are sat in my country. They're just exploring. I don't know what they're playing at. Oh no, this is the fucking spy network. See, I noticed that. It goes up to a value for a split second and then ticks down again by 1. You see? 36, 35. So I was on the F12 button like, to get a screenshot of it, and I managed it. So it ticks up and then down slightly, which is really weird. I don't know why it does that. Has anyone else noticed that? Answers on a postcard. So my morale is now so good that it's actually better than the maximum, as you can see there. And as the upshot of this is that there's a big war against, I don't even know who it is. Is it Zhu? Who knows? But yeah, fairly easy war. My guy is getting quite old. Yes. And he is an incredible general. Look at this. I want the 662 basically. That's the upshot of this. So I'm going to turn this guy into a general. He's quite old. He's a 6-1. I mean, I'd prefer the 6 to be in shock, obviously, but you should never pass up a 6 if you see one. So this is the state of my claims at the moment. I have claimed literally everything I can, except all the stuff down there that I can't. So yeah, I decided to take this as the peace deal so that I could start to colonize along the coast and make my way down to South America. In hindsight, I wish I'd taken Ishimche rather than Chacujal, because colonizing down the back end of the coast would have enabled me to get to South America quickly and then take all the Incan land and all their gold and so on. However, going down the front is fewer provinces and prevents the Europeans from doing so. So it's also good. So in hindsight, maybe I wish I'd done that, which I had anyway, so there's no point in worrying. So anyway, that's the upshot. That's what I got in the end. I got a bit more than that. Just a quick war now against Tlapanek and Totonac, quick wars rather. And it's very easy. I get a full annex there and a full annex there. I don't need to worry about vassals anymore. Look how much money I'm spending on corruption. Holy moly. Colima got Doomsday, idiots. I get a free claim on Away Mill, hooray mill. So there's just 3 more wars to go now. I have 1444 treasury, which is the start of the game. Full annex there. I go for a flower war against Tarascan by mistake. But I annex them anyway. So I get a 662 as my ruler and a 623 as the replacement, which, you know, the 6 is pretty good. I'm going to have to core all this land at some point. But then I get a regency straight away after getting the 662, which is bullshit. So now I'm stuck with a 202. How long did it take? 2 years. 1.5 even. Yeah, oh well. So yeah, it's just me and thee now. Me and you in the world. I have the best leader. In fact, the only leader. I have the best ruler, obviously. As you can see. I actually do. See, my Regency Council is better than his own king. That's amazing. I have claims on almost everything. No one ever passes this mission, let's be honest. And again, it's a fairly simple case of just blanket sieging. Look at all this loot. It's incredible. I take all of that and I vassalize them. So this is what they're having to deal with at the moment. They're just losing all their land to me. Yeah, I do that. They revoke all the cores as well. Yeah, that was a better option. See, this was option 1. But then I decided, you know what? I'm just going to do that instead. So there we are. Aztec, 1530. We are the champions. So I have too few rivals, but yeah, that's a bit stupid. I'm the only person who exists. However, France appeared. But look, friendly natives. So, I mean, it's going quite well. We have a... I mean, we like them because we're friendly natives, but they don't like us so much. That's a good ruler that I got there. Then, see, this is where I got really confused. I was like, we need a Western neighbour. Well, what the fuck is France? You see me culture converting as well, like crazy. So I was a little bit confused because I thought maybe mine needs to be a core and theirs needs to be a core. So I thought, okay, well, we'll see. I'm not really sure. I don't know what I'm showing there. So yeah, this is the problem with the Europeans. You get all these terrible events which really decimate you. Look at this. And again, first that one, then that one. Castilian West Indies exists now as well, is something we've discovered. So I was like, yes, fantastic. I finished my colony. Still I can reform the religion now. That's right. I was like, why can't I reform my religion? What's going on? They've got a core, but then I realised that I needed a core as well next to them. I can't just have a core of theirs. So yeah, well, I could conquer their core, but I didn't do that. So my colony is self-sustaining. I can reform the religion. Ta-da! However, we are still not Western, although we can Westernize if we want to. So first things first, I took innovative. I was saving up admin, as you can see. I was stockpiling everything, as you can see, simply to get to the third innovative idea, which is tech cost -5, because that's going to be really important for me. I also take exploration there, as you can see. Just take the first few ones. I take up as much military as I can, and as much, you know, yeah, as much of everything as I can, really. Oh no, I spent all my Diplo points on ideas. That's right. So yeah, military's teched up. I want to Westernize, indeed. Stability goes straight back up again, because it's no problem. This happens. I've never understood that event. I can't find anything about that modifier online. It's like, doesn't exist. So yeah, extra missionary is always useful in prestige. Blah, blah, blah. This is the monarch points we're making. So it's pretty good. My 525 Regency Council, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so I'm making enough monarch points that Westernization is going quite easily. And I'm thinking, well, I'm making so bloody much. Why don't... So much money. I'll take some more guys as well. Check it out. So now I'm actually gaining monarch points whilst Westernizing like some kind of idiot. Smallpox happens, which no one likes. And look, there's more great rulers. I've got my 522 on the throne and a 542 ready to replace him. Another Moctezuma. So this, it's Coatl is going to become a general as soon as possible. Naval reformer. Yeah, I can have a naval reformer with morale of navies, even though I don't know what boats are. Nobles resist Westernization. Reactionaries resist Westernization. Oh no, the pop-up in the middle of the screen is what I took a screenshot of. I'm afraid I cannot reveal any more details. Suddenly, France gets really angry at me. and they desire all my land, which is never a good thing when you're a native. As you can see, I'm sort of colonizing around them. And yeah, not 3 months later, boom, war was beginning. So yeah, this happens, which is bullshit. You can see it was going quite well, and I managed to kill my guy as well, which means the 542 comes to the throne, and a 425 is the heir, which is absolutely fine by me. France is stealing my colony like some dick face. And I mean, I'll be honest, this war was not going to... Look how many troops I've raised. 46k down there, and then little 2k there. These rebels... That's right. That's right. They said the noble rebel... A event came which said that the noble rebels were going to spawn in Tlaxcala. So I put my army there and thought, I cannot be dealing with this. I need to take out those rebels. I clicked the button to say okay, and they spawned in Colima. That was utter bullshit. And to be perfectly honest, that lost me so much time. So I was really angry about that. Upshot is they destroyed my colony. And I tried to fight them. As you can see, it looks like it's going quite well, actually. I can't really remember what happened, if I'm honest. But then that happened. Yeah, they managed to join their troops up, which was a great shame. And it was mainly because I had to fight rebels, which is a nightmare. And as you can see, despite being in the hills, it doesn't look like I'm going to do well. I'm going to take a river crossing as well. But yeah, their troops are far too good for me. I lost, and I just thought, you know what, fuck it, have it all. So I gave it them all, and decided to, yeah, things started to flip back to me. Well, they abandoned that colony so I could send my guy there again, and they ended up just giving me a load of provinces back like that because they couldn't cope. So rather than flipping over due to rebels, they just gave them back. I obviously refused the military access, like, nope. French-Mexico happened, though, unfortunately, which means that the culture became accepted, which means that they weren't going to flip back. And in fact, France was probably going to end up converting the culture for a lot of them. Military access, you say? Nope. However, I did finish my westernization, which is great, in 1577. And Europe was revealed. So here you can see, yet again, a massive France. They bumped the development of France a couple of patches ago. And before then, France was always a good nation, but it was never like steamrolling everything. But they bumped the development, and now France just steamrolls Iberia every game, and it's too powerful. And I don't want you to think I'm just going, oh, France is too powerful, please nerf, because, you know, obviously France was a powerful country. But the fact of the matter is, they're too powerful. They should not conquer Iberia every single game. It's really silly. So they do need to nerf it slightly. Fair enough if they want to boost it from what it was before, but they need to nerf their boost a little bit. The only reason France became so super strong in real life and actually did conquer half of Europe was because of the revolution. So maybe give them more of a chance of becoming revolutionary. That's a better idea, I think, than just making them so fucking strong that they always just steamroll everything. It's a bit silly. But anyway, you can see there's a massive Salzburg. I don't know how that happened. Britain, Sweden, Lithuania's been eaten, Poland's been conquered. Otherwise, fairly normal, apart from the big Verdun and a massive Lübeck too. But yeah, you see, there's a little bit of it looks like Bohemia got the Burgundian inheritance based on their land in Franche-Comté and some in the actual Low Countries themselves as well. Here you can see the empire, the leagues. The leagues never fired in the end, actually, just to let you know. Britain wants all my stuff. However, I am making so much money from gold now. Check it out. The time is now. Yeah, I'm actually going to declare war on a Western power because they're only allies. Well, Livonia Nordic isn't going to join. Baden and Luxembourg are both landlocked, so I only have to deal with France. And you can see there I have 19 ships, 19 navy. So if you can stop them from landing any troops, then you've got nothing to worry about. French-Mexico only have those 9k troops, so it's going to be an easy war. I set this guy to intercept enemy fleets. My fleet, that is. Although in the end I found it was easier just to do that manually by sight because it was just really silly, this thing. Like they'd swan off up here and there'd be troops landing there and they'd go, oh, I think I'll check out this bit of the area instead. And no, go that way, you idiot. So yeah, I think really what I did in future was when I was actually warring in Europe, I just put, I split my fleet in two, and I put both of them to intercept enemy fleets. Well, I had two small fleets. My main fleet was in Europe to stop them getting out in the first place, but I had two fleets going to catch anything. I think that's probably the way to do it. But yeah, I'm winning battles against Westerners like some kind of big shot. Check it out. Pretty cool. And then it's just carpet siege. La 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 la. And burning colonies, of course. No missions. I'm too good for missions. But as you can see, I'm just taking everything. It's brilliant. Burn them all. So, this is the peace deal I want, and it's basically take all of my cores back. That's because it's a reconquest war. I need at least 10 war score. But look, because it's overseas, it costs no war score, so they don't want to give it to me. I've only got 7 war score for all of this. Then I get to 10 war score, and we end up at minus 54 because of length of war, so I literally just have to sit around doing nothing. France, as you can see, is sending over 22 troops, which would be a bad thing. However, 22? Oh, even more than that, apparently. 27 there. 28, rather. Sunk pretty much all their heavies, and only a few transports, unfortunately, but it means that if they try again, I won't have to fight their heavies. That's the thing. So, still nothing. Still not enough. They came back for more, and I killed them. I got maximum ticking war score here, and I'm on 30%. They still won't do it. Length of war now is starting to tick up. As you can see, it's on +5, -2. But then revolts in France happened, and suddenly length of war jumped up to, well, this is, after 2 years, length of war jumped up to like +23. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take everything. You take my land, I take your land. As you can see, I've just selected all of French Mexico. And finally, in 1598, which was how long after the war started? Let's see. 8 years. Yeah, 8 years after the war started, I conquered all my land back and kicked the dastardly French out of Mexico. Unfortunately, as you can see, Britain there has taken Panama and Darien, which are two key provinces in Panama for trade, which is going to stifle things a little bit in the future. Papal State just going mad over there. So, it's time again. Castile, as you can see, has put some colonies next to mine, and I'm not going to have that at all. So I'm going to holy war them, Deus Vult. And it's going to call in the Papal State in Portugal, but not crucially France. So, using Deus Vult means that you can take the show superiority war goal. That is the war goal. But that naval battles count for that. So if you're sinking ships as they come over, then you're winning all the battles. So that's a really easy way to get ticking war score in that sort of war. A little tip for you all at home there. My guy comes to throne, my 425, which is pretty neat. And as you can see, I've sieged Castile's mainland colonies there. Sinking some ships, sinking some more ships, fighting some men, sinking some more ships. Getting a very good daughter of 553, not to be sniffed at. Oh, I see Castile has a colony there. Well, it'd be a shame if something were to happen. Yoink! Oh, yeah, there we go. And then the trick is, it's nearly finished. So you send your colonist, and when he arrives, Aztec Nawar. Fantastic. Nice little trick. Ulm get big. Ottomans are not doing well here. Look at this. They're getting absolutely wrecked. However, Castile are also getting wrecked, which means I get Cuba and the other colonies of theirs. Cuba, which is pretty cool. Now, what am I looking at there? Don't really know what I'm meant to be showing you there. Oh well. So yeah, Genoa pieces out with the Ottomans. It just takes one arbitrary province in Anatolia. The French-Canadian separatists are French-Canadian separatists, which is odd, because it was French-Mexico, but French-Mexico ceased to exist, and because there aren't like French-Mexican cores because they're not a real country. The cores would be French cores. So if you destroy French-Mexico, French-Mexico doesn't exist. There's no French-Mexican separatists. So it looks like the game just takes the next available French, which is French-Canadian, rather. I've never passed that mission ever in my entire life. That's why I took a screenshot. I was so proud of myself. You can see Lithuania just ceased to exist. Poland and Lithuania are historical friends, of course, which is why Poland is trying to protect the Lithuanian land by conquering it whole. Governor Winston Churchill of British Columbia. Yep, that's right. So here's my general. He's actually my ruler, which is he's a pretty good general, considering I'm trying to kill him so I can use my 553. A 323 is not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. So here's the culture map mode. As you can see, a lot of French people going on, but a lot is being converted to Aztec too, which is very nice. Mantrega. I have never heard of Mantrega. This was the first time I'd ever seen that tag. So, Mantrega. Go Mantrega. They've even got their own traditions. I've never heard of them. So, Clininators. I'm trying to hem in the 13 colonies there, as you can see. And I raised their treasure fleet. Woo! 7 ducats 50. Yep, the Aztecicization is going well. And then finally I managed to kill the sucker. I'm at war with Castilla as well now, by the way. It happens. I got my 553. I am... Oh, Cocoa from Guatemala. My cocoa is escaping. That's why I'm taking these islands, so that I can keep it. Yep, sinking some ships. Deus Vult. I don't think this was Deus Vult, actually, because I didn't border anything. So yeah, this was just a straight-up conquest. But this was my view, basically. I would sit here with my screen like this, and I would watch out for fleets, and then I would just send someone to intercept them. You can see I've got my fleets at sort of choke points, so they're always going to hit one of my ships, no matter where they try and sneak up on me. Another one of these, a 345 this time. The Aztecs love their daughters. So, maximum ticking war score. My conquest of Tortuga. These wars go on a long time is the only disadvantage. And then I manage it. I take all of that shit, basically, as you can see. All the good islands and so on. Pretty damn good. So my diplomatic power is now minus 162, but what can you do? Shit happens. I still only have 15% trade power there, though. My thinking is, anything that I lose from Mexico will either go to the Caribbean or Panama. So obviously I'll lose some stuff in Panama, but some stuff will come up to me in the Caribbean as well, likewise stuff from Mexico. So if I can try and collect there, I'll minimize my losses. Ottomans are getting reactioned. They're westernizing. And their people don't like it. That's probably why they were getting attacked by so many people, actually. So yeah, Aztec Caribbeans. I don't know why it's plural. It's rather odd. The conquest continues. As you can see, fairly easy. And I'm getting... What is this? Gold. Yeah. A lot from gold, but more from tax now. I like how the and others amounts to 1833 of the 2373. It's amazing. So Castilian is now accepted, which is quite nice. Ming still exist, although they're having a bit of trouble. Excuse me. So yeah, Ottomans concede even more to Genoa, and look how much Hungary is occupied. This is not going to end well for the Ottomans. Ta-da! Yeah, not going to end well at all. So now they're at war with so many people. People just jumping on the bandwagon. What am I looking at here? Where's the mouse? I'll be pointing at something. What am I pointing at? Oh no! I wish you could caption screenshots as you took them, like Snapchat or something. Oh well. So yeah, it did not end well for Ming, as you can see. So my issue with Britain now is I need to declare war on them to take potentially some of their Chesapeake Bay land, talking trade-wise, or potentially as well Panama and Darien, but they are allied to some people. Blige. A much easier way to do it is to attack the Iroquois, as you can see. However, the Iroquois are Western, so I can't use the colonial conquest on them, so I have to declare war on Lenape, who aren't Western, and call an Iroquois as a co-belligerent, meaning that they will call in Britain, so then I can fight Britain and 13 colonies without having to deal with all of that. Ah, alliance trading, woo! Don't know what I'm looking at there. The fingers, I don't know. This is who I'm at war with, basically. That's right. So I declared this war and I was like, great, they're not calling them in. This was a waste of time. But then they did call them in, thankfully. So this is the situation. It's fairly easy. I could just stomp them. They're using 21 transports to bring across 3 whole regiments. Good luck with that. So yeah, Iroquois I don't care about. I'll just piece them out for some war reps. Sink in some ships. Micmac as well. War reps. God, this seems like it was quite recent, actually. I remember this. What does it say on the timestamp? 6th of October. What is it today? 26th of October. Oh, it was quite recent. It was 20 days ago. There, look at that. Stack wipe. That's what we like to see. We're getting good now. Blanket siege. Carpet siege. Oi, oi, oi. I got attacked by some of their peasants. My 1 stack got attacked. And it actually held out for such a long time and it killed so many people. I was impressed. So Britain is making another attempt. I'm happy to let them land there because, well, number 1, it's far away from my capital. And number 2, they're going to have to fight all those rebels as well. And the rebels outnumber them, so they're going to have a bad time. However, I am now sending 46k troops over to Ireland. Oh, I guess Britain put their army in Ireland, so I'm not going to land there. Okay then, I guess I'll land in down here instead, because there are a lot of rebels going on, a lot of rebellions, so I will land in Kent. I'll siege that down. Essentially, the issue is, all the land that I'm sieging in America, Britain doesn't care about, so they're not going to peace out. So I need to take the fight to them. As you can see, so lo, let it be known that on the 8th of October 1656, the Aztec Empire did siege down London. Suddenly, they were a bit more willing to peace out, but probably not for London. However, time heals all wounds. Hang on a minute. What happened? Oh, no time passed at all. I just got Lenape to surrender it for me. I love that. England's like, no, we're not going to surrender London to you. Get out of here. I go to these natives sat in a tent and they're like, yes, London, surrender. It's a bit racist. And then they agreed to it, so that was fine. I took London. Bish, bash, bosh. And also Kent, so that I had that land sea border, the sea border with the channel, as it were. And I took all that land from British Columbia in Panama and Darien, meaning that I have a bit more trade power there now, which is fantastic. However, aggressive expansion. As you can see, it's not looking good. So I decided to return that province. But it made no difference, and there was a Europe-wide coalition. As you can see, for some reason, they thought that their side was stronger than mine, so they declared the coalition war. I got 80 quid from the Palatinate. In the end... Well, look, this was what they wanted when I clicked on Suggest Offer. Concede Colonial Caribbean. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm doing that. So, however, every cloud has a silver lining, and Moctezuma the whatever, a 564 was born, and that is a fucking good ruler. I can't kill this one, though, because she's female, so I just have to wait for her to die naturally like an idiot. It's a nightmare. So yeah, I'm at minus 27 for white peace at the moment. I have maximum ticking war score. Hang on. That's right. This was so later. Castile, blah, blah, blah. Are they asking me for peace? That's hilarious. But I want peace on my own terms. I'm going to concede everything. Is mine now, thank you. It's pretty good. So I'm now the cultural union, I'm an empire, blah, blah, blah. I managed to switch to absolute monarchy, which is by far and away the best government type in the game, apart from revolutionary empire. Converted London, now what? Which is awesome. Look at these war reparations from Castile as well. I like that a lot. So I'm finally ahead of time. I'm ahead of time in military tech, so everything's happening. However, I can't now pounce on a weakened Castile because France has guaranteed them, obviously wanting it for themselves. So I make inroads into the Canada area, as you can see. Insert my tendril into French Canada. And I get an alliance with the Netherlands. Ta-da! Which is pretty cool, because they will be very useful. Supporting the independence of Rio de Prata, because that's a big nation I don't want to be fighting. We've already seen this. I think we're just looking at the fact that they've invaded Britain, which is quite amusing. And we get to see more of the world. I don't know why I'm showing you this, but there you go. Oh, that's right. No, no, I allied with Brandenburg. I'm reading this all wrong, sorry. So yeah, I want to declare war on Castile because I think I can now with Netherlands and Brandenburg helping me against France. So I need to put a colony over here so I can use Deus Vult against them. However, it's out of my range. So I sent a guy to Hawaii, and whilst I was waiting, I conquered some more natives, as is my wont, and lost those brave 9 souls. However, the truce with these guys finishes, and they're not happy. And I lose a good general. He was a very good general. And France, they fucking go for it. I get a better general, though. I get him from the estates. I take out all these policies, which actually I never cancel those policies for the rest of the game. Take some ships. So yeah, I had an issue with this war, which was that because I had European allies, what happened was France just rolled into the Low Countries and stacked up a load of war score, more than that, -5 in fact, and I could see this not going very well for me. So I just said, you know what, fuck it. Take your Panama, take your Canadian lands, it doesn't bother me. I'll just piece you out, I'll get you out of this coalition because I've got better things to be doing. There is plenty more land for me to be colonising over here. I don't need to deal with this massive long war that's going to drain all my manpower and my money, do you know what I mean? So I just gave them what they wanted. Unfortunately, Castile used that time to get more alliances, which is a bit of annoying. And this is interesting. Britain turned into a dictatorship with Oliver Cromwell. Check it out. Because I have that one colony next to Castile, I get this decision, which is quite neat. And I get the Casus Belli, which is double neat. And I think I can deal with these 3 guys. Portugal is getting sieged down by France there, as you can see. So there'll be no trouble at all. War is beginning, and I don't even want this colony, so I'm going to recall and abandon. And send him there instead, because that's a much better province. But suddenly, Portugal had 43,000 men in North America, and I have no idea where they came from. So I had to deal with that, which was not fun. I do out-discipline, out-morale, and out-tactic them, which is awesome. And interestingly, the tactics comes from your discipline as well. You get a boost to it, so I didn't realise that. So that's why mine's so high as well. So yeah, it's going pretty bloody well. Portugal will take White Peace because their country's sieged down. They've lost all their army. It's very easy. Sinking some ships. And yeah, I missed a lot here. I get so into it, I forgot to take some screenshots. So after 3 years, I sent some men over to... I sunk all the ships. I sent some men over to Italy and I sieged down Rome. I didn't have enough war score to take it though, really. So I just wanted them out of the war. I got them to annul their treaties instead. And here are some other things. Yep. Are these screenshots out of order? Here are my men preparing to go to the new world, to the old world. Well, my new world. I'm not really sure what I'm meant to be showing there. I don't know. Answers on a postcard. This brilliant fucking level 3 event. And he's a Master of Mint as well, which means my inflation is sky plummeting. Is ground plummeting rather than skyrocketing. So yeah, I got grouped my men together. That's right. They were over there. I brought them all back and then sent them over again just to reinforce them because I'd lost a few men battling the Papal State. I landed in Galicia. Sieged some shit down, won some battles. Oh, check it out. Look, I just out-everything them, apart from morale. Where's your morale now, dickheads? It's a complete stack wipe. Fantastic. Unfortunately, they attacked me from behind, so I had to deal with that as well. I got call of peace, which is unfortunate, but there will be no peace because I am warring. My war exhaustion is actually going down despite the call for peace. And eventually, I take that. Now, so the plan is to release Galicia and Leon as vassals and then core Madrid because you can core through vassals. However, I later learnt that you can only core through vassals when you're on the same continent as them. So I couldn't core Madrid, which was a little bit disappointing, to say the least. Yep, as you can see. So I just had to give it to Leon, and then in the end, I'll just integrate them. I converted them to now after as well, for the lulz. It's a shame because Galicia, who I ended up keeping, have better national ideas, But Leon took, I think, defensive, offensive, and quality, which is a real shame that I had to waste all my time integrating them, because I could have done with keeping them. In hindsight, I could have set up Madrid as a client state, which I did not think of at the time at all, and I wish I had, because then I could have kept Leon, integrated Galicia. But yeah, oh well, what can you do? My amazing general comes to the fore, but unfortunately I get some... My ruler, rather. Unfortunately, I get some rebels which I have to deal with, but that's fairly easy. They're only silly little rebels, and my new heir is not as good, unfortunately. Yeah, check it out. 3-star general, 4611. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I don't. Aragon exists. I was surprised to find them. They exist only on Malta, which is quite amusing. But yeah, unfortunately, I'd weakened Castile so much that France ate the rest of them, which was a downside, to say the least. And now Galicia's independence is supported by France after I converted them to Nawat. Their liberty desire was high, which unfortunately means now that I won't be able to integrate them, so I decided to march them instead. Yeah, I was going to make 2 marches, but having had to integrate Leon, I did that instead. And then once I'd integrated Leon, I'm like, well, I'm not going to release Leon again, because they'll get Madrid back, which is not good. So instead, what I did was I just gave all the land to Galicia. So yeah, my allies don't want to join in, but it's only Portugal and the Papal State. I can deal with this. My troops are already in the right place. Bang, as you can see, nice and easy. Sinking some ships. I sunk everything. I captured so many ships as well, it's awesome. I hardly had to build any transports this game, I just captured them all. I went straight for Rome, sieged it down. It was nice and easy. Unfortunately, I got a regency, which is a great shame. As you can see, look at all the regencies I've had. These guys haven't even been rulers either. It's a nightmare, but I've had some fairly high value guys, so it's not all bad. The Val Barbary pirates. It's the first time I've encountered this. It's the first time I've played in Europe in this new patch, or in the south coast of Europe. But yeah, I managed to... did I declare war on the Papal State in the end? I did, yeah. They hadn't got any allies except Portugal since the last time, so that was pretty good. My plan worked, and it meant that I could piece them out for Rome and Lisbon, which is nice. Unfortunately, there's a bit of an aggressive expansion problem, but I ally the Netherlands, and I re-ally the Netherlands, rather, and I get loads of money from war reps, and this seems to alleviate the problem. No one seems to care about the aggressive expansion anymore. the little look at my discipline there is pretty nice. Unfortunately, I can't annex Leon because they're landlocked, and I can't reach them. So it's all gone to pot, and it was at this point I realised I could have just client-stated Madrid, and then I would have then had to have fed them the provinces leading up to the sea as well, so maybe it was better this way after all. Yep, can't be colonised because it's inland. But it's weird, I can colonise... That one's effective distance of 2,000, but that one's also inland, but it's only 394. It's rather odd. Yeah, just a little break now to show you what's happened to the Ottomans. Oh dear, how the mighty have fallen. I could ally them, but no way am I allying that poor excuse for a thing. Still no coalition, despite the 100 aggressive expansion. However, France is stuck in a big war with Austria and I think Poland as well, if I remember rightly. So I think now is the time. Hungary's getting wrecked by rebels and Austria. So I can deal with France and Scandinavia as well as the Netherlands. I promised the Netherlands land. Oh, I'm trying to press L to skip forward like it's a YouTube video. We all join in. Yeah, it all kind of hinges on this battle, as you can see. So Austria and friends are battling Scandinavia and friends and end up winning. And I'm like, well, that's them sufficiently weakened. Look how many men they lost, 50k, and then 15k horses and 5k cannons. I think it's time I call in the Netherlands and promise them land, even though it's a humiliate rival war, so I can't give them land anyway. So the idea here is to just release people. And of course, doing that means that they stop supporting the independence of Galicia, which is an odd mechanic, to be honest. I think surely now would be the time, if any, to declare independence. But nope, they stopped doing it. And yeah, I have all my vassals back again, which is awesome. So this is the war. As you can see, we outnumber them, which is awesome. Netherlands have about, as you can see, they've got 71k troops, which is not to be sniffed at all. So there's the first major battle, and didn't even involve me. The Dutch army is evidently just so bloody good that they just beat them, which is quite nice. Their general isn't even better. I don't know how they did that, but anyway. I take that one as well, lead a siege, because there's a load of forts. That policy, there's a load of forts in France, so I want it to be over as quickly as possible. This is kind of the ideal peace deal. Just release those guys. It's tricky because I wanted to release Gascony and Catalonia, but Gascony was 50 and Catalonia was 53, so I couldn't do both, which was a shame. So I had to go for something like this instead. I'm now so powerful that big old Hungary is threatened by me, which is amusing. As we can see, France and Scandinavia just getting wrecked over there. Now it's my turn to shine. I think they retreated from there and ended up here, and so I just took them out, which was a very easy battle, as you can see. I still out-everything them, which is awesome. There was another big battle, as you can see, which went well. And then the Dutch started to siege down Paris for me, which was awesome. And in fact, they succeeded, as you can see. I then took the missionary strength policy and took a missionary strength advisor simply for the sole purpose of converting Rome. No other reason. I just wanted to convert it because it's hilarious. Stack wiping the French. Erde, Evde. Always very satisfying, isn't it, doing that? Ha 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 ha. It wasn't even that, they weren't even low morale or anything. I think it was just my cannons made all the difference. However, France is now out of the other war, but that doesn't really affect me. As you can see, I've pretty much sieged down everything, so it's all good at this stage. Venice is back, hooray! France is now hiring Condottieri from Salzburg, which I'm not happy about at all. Although I think they just got instantly killed by the Dutch, if I remember rightly. Egypt exists. Hi, Egypt. How's it going? It's pretty neat, isn't it? That was the Mamluks. As you can see, they've got the Mamluk ideas. Austria has parked 44,000 troops in a place that has a supply limit of 39. Just AI things. So I'm just attacking the last French holdout now. It's the Beliers with their 0k regiment. Just a general commanding 0 troops. So this was the peace deal in the end. I had to give the core to Leon, which was... I was worried about forgetting, so I had to keep on making sure it was in the peace deal. So that means I can integrate Leon, sorry. I gave Sevilla to Castile because that's quite a good... That was just, I had some war score left over, and I was like, oh, that's a good province, so... Normandy and Gascony were released, not as much as I would have liked, unfortunately. The idea with Normandy is I want to try and diplo-vassalize them, or at least, militarily vassalize them, and I can give them Paris, they can core it, and I can integrate it. I annexed Leon, fantastic, which means I now have Madrid, London, Rome, and Lisbon. It's just Amsterdam and Paris I need now. Netherlands declared war on Britain and wanted me to help, but the alliances were so big on the other side, I just said to them, no, I'm not doing it. So that broke that alliance. Shortly afterwards, they got involved in another big war, as you can see, and Russia and Scandinavia were fighting, so Russia weren't going to join, all of which meant that, Luango and Brandenburg is going to be a tricky thing. Luango's nothing, they're just some guys in Africa. And so it's time to duel. I'm allied with Scandinavia as well at this point. As you can see, I'm in the war against Russia already. Revolution is going to happen in Normandy. I will just spoil it for you. It doesn't happen. I wish it did, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Meanwhile, ships are being sunk over in the left there. First battle of the day goes my way. Barat happens. I've fought in Brandenburg for a while. It was a bit of a slog. In the end, I managed to get war reps from them, which was a large number of troops out of the war, which means I was just fighting in the Netherlands. Russia did join at some point, but they couldn't get their troops to Netherlands in time to make any difference. Fur will now be produced. Fur is already produced, so thanks for that. Yeah, Russia did join, as you can see, but it made no difference in the end. They did have a revolution in Normandy, but they ended up with just a regular republic and not a revolutionary one, which was a shame. Look how much money I'm getting from blockades and loot. It's pretty cool. 889 from spoils of war. The Dutch army is nowhere to be seen. Oh, they have 4 for 4 ducats, which I'm very, very pleased with. I could see the Russians in the corner of the screen. I was like, oh shit, the Russians are coming. I can't see them now. They were there, honest. Maybe I imagined them. So I thought, you know what, it's just time. I was going to make him release some people or something like that, but I thought, you know what, I'll just take Holland. That's all I need. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Here's the aggressive expansion. France is just over 54 there. I'll come back to that slide. But yeah, he didn't join the coalition at all, which I was quite pleased. He was obviously so scared of me that he didn't dare join a coalition against me, which was bloody awesome. And my allies, of course, because I was allied to Scandinavia at this point. Yeah, unfortunately, my plan of diplo-vassalizing normally didn't work because the closest I got it was like -3 reasons, and that was literally as high as I could get it. So in the end, France declared war on them. I was guaranteeing Normandy to stop France doing this, but then when I couldn't vassalize them, I just broke off all ties with them with the intention of declaring war myself and then vassalizing them myself. However, unfortunately, France got in there just before I could, and I couldn't intervene in the war either because it had negative opinion. So, or it had to be 100 and it wasn't, which was a shame. Meanwhile, I convert Rome to Nawat, which is hilarious. I was just thinking, imagine the fucking ziggurat you'd have in the Vatican. It'd be amazing. So yeah, unfortunately, Normandy go bye-bye, which ruins my plans a little bit. But there is only one more capital that I need, and that is France's. So, without further ado, Poland ends up in this big war against Brandenburg and so on. So I'm like, well, now's the time. Poland's not going to join. It's just me v France, one-on-one. Fight me IRL, bro. I take Imperialism, CB this time, and fucking go for it. I get a new general from the Estates who's a 5-3-3-2, which is by far and away the best general I've had this entire playthrough. Sinking some ships. Sinking loads of ships, in fact, and this makes my life so much easier. You can see I've got loads of different navies on the outliner there. They're all patrolling like the Caribbean and so on and so forth to stop people landing there. First big land battle rather. And as you can see, I absolutely steamroller them. It is so good. They lost about 29,000 troops. And I lost around, that's about 13,000. So I was very pleased with that. The second big battle, again, steamrollered him. No fucking contest. I think what's making a big difference here is the fact that I have a 5-fire general and I filled out the full 40 combat width with cannons, whereas France haven't at all, and they've got less fire. So I'm massacring them with my guns, which is awesome. The reason I don't just have 40 cannons is because sometimes if you're reinforcing or you get caught unawares or something like that, your cannons can end up on the front row and you lose some, so I'd rather have more than 40, just in case. And yeah, it ends up like this. Bye-bye the French. Pretty damn cool. And it was actually their king in charge, which is hilarious. So the Siege of Paris begins. The Siege of Paris continues. The Siege of Paris continues. 317 days. Luckily, France didn't attack me during all this. I don't know why. So yeah, this general is actually the second best general in the entire world. It's pretty neat. Finally, I win the Siege of Paris, but just as I do, France attacks me with 153k. What I was doing here, by the way, I was buying 10 mercenaries in London and Holland, and then I was just shipping them over in cogs and landing them in Co. So I always had this steady stream of more infantry come in, ready to reinforce the front line if I needed it. So yeah, France attacks me with 153k against what will be 128k once my other guys join. So I'm a little bit worried about this. But as you can see, it goes so bloody well. So their stacks arrive at slightly different times. First of all, a 50k stack arrives. And because I outnumber them 2-1 and my armies are just so fucking amazing, by the time the other guys reinforce, that 50k stack is on 1 morale or something. It's really low, which means that, yeah, they bump the morale up when they join, but the rest of the morale is so low, and their army, their centre is just full of low morale regiments that are crumbling and retreating, that they just can't do anything about it. And they end up with less men than me in the end, which of course just makes it inevitable. And of course I win that battle. They do hold on though to the bitter end. They do pretty bloody well. As you can see, their morale is 1 point higher than mine. Their discipline is very close to mine. So it's a close battle, but I won it in the end. As you can see, They lost about, well, way more than twice as many men as me. And then we have, they didn't retreat very far either, so I could just pick them off. They tried to take back Paris, and I'm having none of that. Pick some of them off down in Anjou, and then head up back to Paris. Don't want to miss the show. They're trying to reinforce. As you can see, that 46.6k stack just made it, but I reinforce as well. And all of that means that they get steamrollered yet again. And then I think I'm not going to get greedy here. I'm just going to take what I need, which is Caux and Paris. And with that, we've come a long way. We have all the provinces we need. We just need to core them. So join me next time for EU4 Sunset Invasion as the Aztec, where we'll be coring shit, sorting things out and getting the achievement. So I'll see you then. Bye.